And as we make our way along the road to Emmaus here, just as two disciples did 2,000 years ago as they were walking along, I want to show you something that you would see along Roman roads. You see this cylindrical structure right here. This is a Roman mile marker. It's also called a milarium. They would have been cylindrical in their shape. They would have had a square base, usually made of stone, and they would have inscriptions on them. You can still make out some of the inscriptions on this ancient historical mile marker located right along that ancient road to Emmaus. And what's amazing is this actual milarium noted the 14th mile from Jerusalem, passing through Emmaus to get to a city called Lod. And so when we think about these Roman mile markers, the question is, do we ever see this mentioned in Scripture? And the answer is yes. If you go with me to the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew chapter 5, verse 41, Jesus is teaching and he says something like this: if someone forces you to go 1 mile, go with him 2 miles, or go with him another mile. And what he's referencing in that part of the Sermon on the Mount is one of these milariums or mile markers. You see, in the Roman Empire, there was something known as the law of impressment. And what it stated was that any Roman soldier could require a subjugated person, a non-Roman, for our purposes, the Jewish people here in the land, to carry their equipment for 1 mile. A Jewish person might be on their way to a very important meeting. They might be on their way somewhere with their children, and a Roman soldier could require them to put down their things, pick up his things, and carry it 1 mile. What's interesting is Roman law also stated that if that Roman soldier allowed that person to keep carrying his things past that 1 mile, he, as the soldier, would receive severe punishment. So when we read these words of Jesus and as they ring in our ears, if someone forces you to go 1 mile, go with him 2 miles, or go with him another mile, in that moment, Jesus is practicing non-violent resistance to the way of empire in Rome. He's saying, listen, in this world that we live in, if a Roman forces you to go 1 mile, keep going, because then that puts pressure on him. He's the one that's going to get in trouble. It's amazing to read and understand these words of Jesus in their very places and habitat and in their world.